What's up, YouTube? I'm Mike, and today I'm back with a topic that I very rarely discuss on this channel, primarily because my Second Amendment rights have already been trampled on. So the topic of today is, should convicted felons have their Second Amendment rights reinstated? And do you think Hunter Biden is going to be convicted on the charges that he is currently facing? I was going to make this video about a month ago, back in May, when I woke up one morning and read this article from the Ninth Circuit Court in the state of California, of all places. So we've got a state that has some of the strictest gun regulations in the entire country. I thought I must have died and gone to heaven when I woke up and found out that a circuit court in Los Angeles, the Ninth Circuit panel, ruled that a blanket prohibition on convicted felons possessing firearms violates their Second Amendment rights, at least when it comes to nonviolent offenders who served out their sentence. Now, the case that brought this to bear was a case. It ended up being a split decision. Okay, so it was a 3-judge panel threw out a firearm possession conviction of a Los Angeles member of a street gang who had 5 prior felony convictions and was later sentenced to 51 months in federal prison for being a felon in possession of a firearm. So this to me it was shocking. This is not exactly how I would maybe necessarily apply the law, but I'm interested to get your take on it. So in this particular case, this guy's a multiple felon, a member of a street gang. He got caught with a firearm. He got sentenced to 51 months, and his case was overturned because the Ninth Circuit felt that the fact that he was a felon alone should not just create a blanket denial of his Second Amendment right. This is a landmark case because the Supreme Court has struck down these efforts at every turn. The Supreme Court has historically found that the federal government has the right to trample on citizens' Second Amendment rights if they are ever convicted of any felony, period. My felony was a low-level Class C felony that carried a maximum sentence of 3 months. And that felony that I got some 20 years ago has permanently prevented me from being able to carry a firearm. I cannot defend my family against people who would want to do them harm, or from the tyranny of the American government, which is what the Second Amendment is intended to ensure. The Second Amendment is intended to ensure that the American people will have protections against their own government. It's not just about the personal right to bear arms. It's about the ability to build and arm and train militias to ensure that the American government can never be in a tyrannical position over the citizens. And so this argument that's been made for fucking years, decades, that the Second Amendment was never meant to apply to weapons of war, in my estimation, is bullshit. I am a Second Amendment absolutist. I think that every single American should have legal right to own any weapon that the federal government can own. Because the only way a state-run militia could effectively protect itself against the tyranny of the American government is if we have weaponry that is equivalent to what the American government has. So if they got tanks, we should have tanks. They got fucking F-16s and F-22s, we should have F-16s and F-22s. We should at least have the ability to amass these arms and train up militias to protect ourselves from the tyranny of the American government. The reason I'm making this video today is because now you've got a sticky situation where Hunter Biden is on trial for 3 felony gun charges. So one of the other caveats, not only can you not be a felon in possession of a firearm, but even if you're not a felon, you cannot be in possession of a firearm if you are addicted to drugs and or using illegal drugs. And when you sign up to buy a gun, you have to fill out a form, which he filled out and lied on. And they've been able to prove with text messages and witnesses and all kinds of things that he was actively addicted to crack cocaine while being in possession of a revolver and that constitutes a felony gun possession charge. And so he is currently on trial facing 25 years. So I'm curious, do you think that this is going to be a fair trial? Do you think this is another kangaroo court that's not going to that's just going to side with the leftist agenda? Because this guy should swing for this. I mean, if they're going to continue to hold, if we're going to enforce these laws, then he should not be above the law. That was the whole argument they made for convicting Trump on these bullshit charges, was to prove the point that no one is above the law. Hunter Biden is a scumbag piece of shit. He should definitively, based on the letter of the law today, be convicted on these charges. Now, I don't think he should have ever been brought to trial, because I don't think that the Second Amendment should have any conditions at all. I should be able to be fucked up on whatever drugs I want to be on, have committed as many felonies. If I'm a free citizen, if I am not currently locked up on probation, on parole, if I am not currently in some form of a correctional facility or being adjudicated for a crime, then my Second Amendment rights and the rights of every other American citizen shall not be infringed. That is my view. So what I'm curious to see is, are we about to see in this country a reversal of what has been a decades-old precedent? As I said, every attempt at the Supreme Court level to reinstate felon gun rights has failed until New York State Rifle Association v. Bruin came out, and that changed everything. And so it was Bruin that the Ninth Circuit Court referred to in their decision, saying that it is unconstitutional to have a blanket prohibition of convicted felons possessing firearms. So, what say you? I suspect that there are a lot of firearm owners in the audience. I suspect that there are a lot of conservative Second Amendment rights type of people in my audience. Maybe we've got some gun haters on the left. What is your opinion of the Second Amendment? Should felons be able to have a legal pathway to possess a firearm again? Do you think that that should just be the second that they are released, that they are no longer under any form of the correctional facility, they should automatically get their gun rights back? Do you think that there should be some kind of process? Do you agree with me? Are you a Second Amendment absolutist? Do you think that when the Second Amendment says you have the right to bear arms, that you have the right to bear any and all arms that the federal government can bear? I would love to get everyone's opinions on these three topics in the comment section. What do you think is going to be the outcome of the Hunter Biden case? What do you think is going to be the outcome? Should felons have their gun rights reinstated? And what guns do you think American citizens should have access to? That's what I would like to hear from my audience today. If you would like to put forth your opinion, it would be much appreciated in the comments. As always, thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one.